Good evening, everyone. Hey, third time I've shot this, third time I posted to YouTube. First two times I deleted what I put out there, all right? So hopefully I get it right this time. Just got back from taking my mom or meeting my sister with my mom in Russellville. And don't forget, tell your moms Happy Mother's Day, all right? They're some of the most important people in your life, all right? Tell your moms Happy Mother's Day. But I was listening to a podcast on the way back, and it made me think of you guys, all right? And so I want to share something real quick with you. It's Mark 10. We're going to start with verse 42, and it says, "So Jesus called them together and said, 'You know that in this world kings are tyrants, and officials lord it over the people beneath them. But among you should be quite different. Whoever wants to be the leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be the first must be the slave of all. For even I, the Son of Man, came here not to be a servant, but to serve others, and to give my life as a ransom for many.'" All right. So, what did Jesus do? He came and was a servant. All right. Did Jesus have to be a servant? No, he didn't. All right. Jesus was on the throne. All right. So, no. All right. So, with that said, the podcast I was listening to, the person I was listening to, he was talking about a young lady he was counseling, and he one of the things he asks everyone that he counsels, he says, "I want to know something. What is your big question? What is the big question going off in your head all the time?" All right. And she thought for a moment, and she was like, "What do you mean big question?" He said, "You're always constantly thinking about something, and I'm telling you guys, if you think about this, something is always going around in your head. All right. What is your big question? All right." And finally she said, "Oh, my big question." She said, "The big question for me is this. The big question is, how do I become popular, and how do I get people to like me?" All right. And I got to think about that. All right. You guys are probably similar to this young lady when you go to school. All right. How do I get people to like me? How do I become more popular? I won't say all of you are that way, but some of you may be that way. And I want you to think about that. You will be going back to school, right? And, a lot of times when that question rolls around your head all the time, you start doing things to fulfill that. And a lot of times it makes you wind up acting like a fool, right? And in Proverbs, what does God say about, or what does Solomon say about fools? Fools are follow the herd and are led to slaughter, right? You don't want to be that person, right? So, what I challenge you to do is think about your big question. What is always rolling around your head, right? What are you always asking yourself, right? And what I challenge you to do is if that question has something to do with, how do I get people to like me? How do I become more popular? Some of that nature. I'm going to challenge you this summer to get in your Bible and read and see if you can't change what that question is. Remember, Jesus didn't say, you need to be more popular, right? What did Jesus say? Hey, if you want to be a leader, you must first be a servant. Think about that. Think about your question. What is your big question?